Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Dodgy Pilot here, and today we're going to take one of our regular commuter flights from Palm Springs International over to Los Angeles. So we're going from KPSP over to KLAX. Now if you're flying for our airline, I've put the plan up here as you can see. And so take a screenshot or note it down and take the flight and help me transport some of these passengers. Now in Los Angeles, we're following the approach. We're doing ILS 07 left, runway 07 left. And the ILS frequency for that is 111.700, okay? If you need to program that into your auto landing, we're at landing at runway 7 left at Los Angeles, and the frequency is 111.700. Now today I thought I'd try out this Airbus A320 Neo. It is a beautifully modelled plane. It's beautiful. It's like the 787 and the 747. It's rendered and it's just a beautiful plane. The model and the interior. It's not a full-on study level plane, which is not what I want anyway. I am struggling a bit with it, to be honest, particularly the autopilot. I've spent almost 2 days on it now, just practicing with it, trying to find out any good tutorials and things, and as usual there's hardly any really what I would call good tutorials in regards to the A320, especially in regards to programming the autopilot and the ILS and all that. Very hard to find a good tutorial, but I've gleaned over a few and I've managed to be able to fly it from A to B. It's a good looking plane, like I said, and it is painted in our livery, so for that reason I would like to be able to fly it. I don't want to fly every plane in the simulator like I've said before, but if I do include it in our fleet, I feel I should be able to fly it. So I have been working on it, and I'm going to fly it from A to B, but I'm doing it in a sort of a roundabout way. I haven't really come to grips fully with the autopilot. But I can do it in a sort of a roundabout way, get from A to B, so I'll show you how I do it anyway. Certainly, this is certainly not a tutorial, but I would certainly like your help if you can shed any light on a few of the problems that I have while flying this plane. Please put them in the comments down below. I'd be appreciated, and it would be really helpful. A few of these planes I think are broken after update 5. I think that just doesn't seem to be working the way it was when the game first came out, so quite a few things have changed. Some for the good and maybe some for the worse. Anyway, let's head over to Palm Springs and have a look at our beautiful Airbus A320 Neo, and painted in the KVM World Travel airline colours. Right, here is the beautiful Airbus 320. We're just going to get the baggage all loaded. The engine is in the turnaround state because it flew in from San Diego. So the engines are on idle. Catering has been done and checked. Fuel is all good, so we're just getting some luggage on board. And then we'll get pushed back and depart and head over to Los Angeles. So here we are in the lovely A320 cockpit, just looking beautiful. We come down here to the radio. And I have put 111.700 into the radio. I've clicked frequency swap, and that is now put our ILS frequency into the active into the radio there for our ILS landing. So here we are at holding short. I will check all my control surfaces, and rudders. Yep, all good. And we can get clearance for departure.
Palm Springs ground Airbus Alpha Sierra X-Ray A320 IFR to Los Angeles ready to copy.
Airbus Alpha Sierra X-Ray A320 is cleared to Los Angeles Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 31 left climb and maintain 8,000 feet. Departure frequency is 135.275 squawk 3027.
Okay, read back. Acknowledge clearance for takeoff.
X-Ray A320 cleared to Los Angeles Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 31 left climb and maintain 8,000 feet. Departure on 135.275 squawk 3027.
And we're going to lower our flaps.
Airbus A320 read back is correct. Contact ground on 121.9er when ready to taxi. Good day.
We've taxied already, so we're ready to take off. Probably did that in the wrong order of things, I think. Never mind, we'll tidy that up on our next trip. Beautiful little airport, Palm Springs. It's just the scenery is so nice. It's sort of nestled in the valley here. Nestled in this valley, it's just a beautiful spot. Kind of place I'd like to come for a holiday, I think. Got a wind farm straight up ahead of us. You can see that wind farm, huge wind farm there. We're going to be flying straight over the top of that. Okay, let's just stop here and check we've got everything set up okay. We've got our frequency in for the ILS Los Angeles. We've got our flight plan in here. Our cruise altitude there, 5,000 feet. It's not very high. We might go up a bit higher than that. Maybe we set that a bit higher. I'll set it at 10,000 feet for now. There's our flight plan on the display there. Right, so we can fire up the engines and depart. Quite a nice day, but a bit of cloud around. Maybe a little bit bumpy going up to the cruise altitude, but we're expecting a smooth flight to Los Angeles. Going to rotate around 140. 140 knots. Hold it steady at around about 10 degrees. Positive rate. We bring our gear up. And see you later, Palm Springs. Beautiful spot. Right, so I am going to turn on the autopilot. And we'll be heading over to intercept our flight plan. Can start bringing up our flaps. There's the wind farm down there. It goes for miles. Hundreds, maybe thousands of wind turbines. Continues on down here. Okay, approaching our cruise altitude now. Going to bring our throttle down a bit. Now, as always, I'm not used to this Airbus. I'm not practiced with it. I've spent a couple of days trying to figure out how to get it from A to B, but if there's some procedures and things you can help me with, let me know in the comments below. I would like to learn some more about this little Airbus. The problems I've been having with it is with the autopilot. Once I'm up in the air and flying, like for example if I wanted to go down another 500 feet, I seem to have no way of controlling that. The speed, I seem to have no way of controlling this as well. I'll click on that or whatever and nothing will happen. I click on this altitude here. If I bring it down a little bit more, click on that, click on expedite, and still nothing happens. The plane just travels along at this altitude at its own rate, at its own pace. It follows the flight plan, but if I want to increase my altitude or decrease my altitude, I have no control over it here. The only way I can do it is to turn off the autopilot and physically manually fly the plane down to another level or ascend to another level. So if you can shed any light on that, that would be brilliant in the comments there. Any experienced flight simmers out there, people who have spent many hours in this plane, you will know what I mean. Is it all different after update 5? Is it broken or is it just me? Probably me, I would say, but be interested to hear any comments from experienced Airbus people. There we go, outside views are just looking beautiful. Look at that, stunning. We haven't got far to go today to Los Angeles. It's just over there towards the coast. Not far to go today at all. Let's have a look at our flight plan up here. Not far to go. Now let's say I want to bring my speed down to 6,000 feet. So I come over here, bring that down to 6,000 feet. Click on expedite. I come over here. Oh yeah, I can see 6,000 feet in the screen down there. I don't know if it's going to go down to that 6,000 feet. Maybe I will the vertical speed. Maybe I should adjust the vertical speed and see what happens there. But I don't think it'll have any effect. You see? It's coming down a little bit, but it's going to take about a year to get down to 6,000 feet. I don't know if it's going to drop to 6,000 feet or not. Maybe. We'll see what happens. See if it comes down to 6,000 feet and holds there. But certainly yesterday I just could not get it to do anything that I wanted it to do. Does it do what I tell it to do in the autopilot, or does it just automatically follow what's in the flight plan and you cannot change it? Maybe. Down at 7.9. There's my waypoints in there. I haven't touched any of that. In the flight planner menu, I did my flight plan. In the Flight Sim 2020 menu, I did the flight plan and the waypoints, so I haven't touched this at all, but everything seems to be programmed in there. Maybe that includes the altitudes and everything. Maybe this over here is the altitudes, so it follows those altitudes regardless of what I do. I'm not sure about that. Let's see what we've got here. Ah, yes, looks like it is coming down, and it's going to hold 6,000 feet. Okay. Now it looks like to me that this flight plan is not correct as well. So I think I've mucked up the flight plan, because that doesn't, to me, it doesn't look like it's running into, yes, it's running over to KLX runway. I don't think there's any ILS sort of approach or anything programmed into there. So I may have messed up the flight plan as well in regards to the approach. Let's see what it says on this flight plan here, if I can zoom out. It's just a straight-in approach. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm now holding at 6,000 feet as I requested on the autopilot. So couldn't seem to do that yesterday. I had no idea what's happening half the time. I've got my ILS frequency in there, so maybe when I get close to the runway I can turn on the approach hold mode. Can switch these over and turn on the ILS and see if we can do an ILS landing, or an approach anyway. It's about 7:45 in the morning here, so it's a morning flight. It is a beautiful model, the Neo, the Airbus. I prefer the 737, but as a shape, as a design, and a streamlined sort of machine. But this still beautifully modeled, the Neo Airbus. Painted in our airline colours too, which is why I like it. It'd be nice to have the 737 painted in our airline colours. That would be nice. Okay, so we're going to do a little turn to the left, and then we're coming straight into KLX. KLAX. Let's have a look at our flight plan here. Let's just see if we can bring our altitude down now a little bit more, see if it works for us. Say, come down to, say, 4,000 feet. Let's try that. Click on it, expedite. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, it's got 4,000 feet there, and it is coming down. For some reason yesterday I just could not get that to work. I'm a real dummy sometimes, I don't know. Today it seems to be working. I seem to be able to just adjust the altitude and come down to that. So if it stays like that, if I've nailed that, that is a good thing. Don't know why I couldn't seem to do that yesterday. I spent literally almost 2 days on this plane trying to figure out how to get from A to B and to use the autopilot and the auto throttle. Don't get me started on the auto throttle. Oh my gosh. I'm still in the dark when it comes to the auto throttle. I think the levers here, the thrust levers, you've got to have down in the middle of this section here for the auto throttle to come on. Maybe when you come down into here, bring the throttle levers down into here, it comes on automatically or something like that. TO I think is for takeoff, so you have your lever full up on the TO. Not sure what that one is. CL, I'm not sure what that one is, but that's where I've got it at the moment. For landing, not sure where I'm supposed to have it. Maybe just bring it down to here. Anyway, trial and error for me, I'm afraid. Mostly error. More error than trial. Any helpful tips are welcome. Tips and tricks. Okay, so we're coming down to 4,000 feet. Looks like we're going to hold on to 4,000 feet. That will be good for where we are right now. Speed is at 200 knots. Start bringing that down as we get a bit closer. I've noticed that when you lower the flaps, the speed will automatically decelerate down to that correct speed for that level of flaps. And if I click the flaps again, bring them down another level, the speed will come down to match that, the speed for that level of flaps. If that's the way it's supposed to be, I think it's quite good. I quite like that. And it'll just sit at the correct speed. So I can lower the flaps 3 or somewhere around there, and it'll sit on 140 knots as I come into land. So that is quite good. I'm not sure if I'm doing that right, but it seems quite good. Right, down through a little bit of haze and clouds here. I might actually start bringing my speed down now. I may bring my altitude down to 3,000 to intercept the final approach. Now nothing's happened there. Oh, there it is, 3,000 feet. It's just come up down the bottom there, so that's good. Now if I lower my flaps, If I lower my flaps, I just hit the flap button. My speed is coming down to match the tolerance level for that position of flaps. If I hit it again, the speed is coming down to match that tolerance level for the level of flaps. Not sure if I'm doing that right, but if that's how it's supposed to work, I think that's quite good. Coming down to 3,000 feet. Wait till I get a little bit closer and then I'll try turning on the approach mode. Right, bring my flaps down one more level. I'm going to switch these over to VOR. I'm going to turn on the ILS and I'm going to hit the approach mode. I may be too far out to do that, but I'm going to do it anyway and we'll see what happens. I can see the lights up in the distance there of the runway. Okay. Bring my flaps down again, so that'll bring us down to 140 knots, which is good for approach. Got my diamond there in the middle, one up here that's going to start coming down. Again, I'm probably doing this all wrong, guys, so open to your suggestions here. Right, I'll lower the gear. Gear down, check, locked, in position. So we're cruising in at 140 knots on full flaps, and I have approach mode on, and the autopilot on. Fingers crossed. I don't know how this landing is going to go. Like I say, I've spent a heck of a lot of time on it trying to learn to get to A to B. But my landings will not be flash. It's just, I'm still at that practice stage. As I am with all the airplanes in this simulator at the moment. So this could be a little bit hairy. It will be entertaining, to say the least. Let's just see how it goes. Did a few landings yesterday in my practice, and boy, they were hear 'em, scare 'em. Luckily, no passengers on board, so no one threw up their lunch. But I almost did. It was shocking. Some shocking landings yesterday. Let's see if I can nail a reasonably smooth landing today. I noticed yesterday when I turned off the autopilot as I was coming into land, the plane just dropped out of the sky like a stone. I must have had my throttle in the wrong place, but it just dropped out of the sky. So I'm going to keep my throttle up a little bit today when I turn off the autopilot, so that I have a little bit of a speed, a little bit of inertia. And And I won't fall out of the sky like a stone. Hopefully I'll just float down nicely. But this has been quite a smooth flight for me. Yesterday I had some rough ones, but today has been quite uneventful and quite smooth, so I'm liking it. I put in a lot of hours over the last couple of days, so I guess that's what you need to do. Right, coming in now, we've got our arrows in the right position, in the middle, so fingers crossed here. I'm shaking here, guys. I got white knuckles and the beads of sweat are dripping down my brow. Tense moments. Not like the 737. The 737, I'm very, very relaxed. I can just do it, and I know what the plane's going to do. I know what it's thinking. I know how it's feeling. But this one is a bit like trying to tame a wild horse at the moment. I could get bucked off at any time. I've just got to hold on, and hopefully I can stay on. It's like taming a wild horse. Should I be slower than 140? Okay, I would like to know, guys. What do you think? Should I be landing? I know it depends on the payload. Let's just say I've got a full complement of passengers. What should I be landing at? 140 knots? 130 knots? 737 I landed around about 135, 130. For this one, I presume maybe it's about the same. I'm not sure. But I'm at 140 at the moment, which is probably a bit too fast, I would say, but I'm just a bit scared the plane is going to fall out of the sky if I go down too low, that's all. I shall get ready to turn off the autopilot up here. Okay, autopilot off. I've killed the throttle now. Okay. Well, that was okay. That was actually okay. You know, for the last 2 days I've been trying to do that, just like that. But today I nailed it. Oh boy, that feels good. Today I actually nailed it. Wasn't a perfect landing, but reasonably smooth. The autopilot did what I wanted it to do. It came down when I wanted it to come down 1,000 feet from time to time. That was good. For me, that was brilliant. Compared to the problems and the trouble I was having yesterday, oh my gosh. It was terrible, guys. Now, where are these? Where am I supposed to taxi to? Where the heck am I? This is Los Angeles. I should know my way around pretty well, eh? But yeah, that landing was okay. I was very impressed with myself, considering I am new to this. Oh, there they are, way down there. Okay, I've got to go back round this way. Yeah, I was expecting all hell to break loose as I tried to come in for a landing. But that wasn't too bad. It is very satisfying, isn't it, when you feel like you're actually getting somewhere. When you're learning something new like this, it is really satisfying. But boy, do you have to put in the hours. I really put in the hours. Try to find a good tutorial on YouTube. Try to find one that you can actually follow. You can understand it. Most of them say, now this is for beginners and for learners. And then as soon as they start, they say, now I've got this mod installed, and I've got this DLC installed, and I get lost straight away. I'm thinking, no, I'm a beginner, I'm a learner. I don't have all these mods and DLCs installed and extra software packages to make the flight simulator run. So they lose you straight away, don't they? That's interesting. What's that over to the right? Can you see that over to the right? What the heck is that? Is that a big alien ship that's landed at Los Angeles? Wow, look at that. What is it? It looks like Mount Everest. Mount Everest has been placed. No, it looks like an alien ship, for goodness sakes. Some sort of alien structure. Wow. Never seen that before. Boy, I've got to take a photo of that and send that home to my mother. That is incredible. Anyway, getting back to this little Airbus. If I can fly it like that, and it does everything that I want it to do and need it to do, I think I like it. And I think I'll use it more often in the airline. Do a few more trips with it. Because everything seemed to go swimmingly well on this little trip. Stop, stop, stop. Oh my gosh. It wasn't a very good taxi, was it? Okay guys, open the doors, get out. I was too busy looking at this alien object over here. I got no idea what it is. Unbelievable. Right, well I hope you enjoyed that video guys. I'm sorry about the taxi and the ending. It's pretty disastrous. But as far as a little flight goes and a landing, for my first attempts at this little Airbus, I'm quite happy with that for a beginner. Hopefully I will improve and get better from here. Comments are welcome. Thanks for watching guys. Hi to all the new subscribers, welcome. Hope you enjoy this channel. It is a bit of a comedy show most of the time, as you can see. You look after yourselves and take care, and I'll see you on the next video. Ciao.